To assemble the saxophone, start out by putting the case on the floor. Here's what it looks like in the case. The first thing you do is take the neck strap and put it around your neck. The next thing you do is take your reed, this is a Van Doren 2.5, and put it in your mouth so it's soaking for when you're ready to play the saxophone. This is the neck of the saxophone. It goes into the body, and the mouthpiece and reed are attached to it. So, to make sure it's okay, you put some cork grease on it to ensure that the mouthpiece will slide on easily. After the cork grease is applied, you take your mouthpiece and put it on the neck strap. Make sure to grab it by the part that does not bend, so it can prevent bending on this part. So, to make sure the mouthpiece is in the right place, make sure it is directly in line with the neck, the hole right here, and strap the ligature on. So, to put the reed on the ligature, you take the reed, make sure the ligature is slightly loose so it slides in easily. Make sure the reed slides right in. And align it so that the tip of the reed is just above the tip of the mouthpiece right here. And tighten your ligature. See? So the next thing you do is you grab the body of the saxophone, take the cap off, and attach it to your neck strap. From here, you unscrew the screw right here to make sure the neck can be placed properly in the body. So you just place it properly, make sure to do it directly in so there's no bending on this part, and make sure the screw is nice and loose so it fits right in. So to make sure that just line it up, tighten your neck strap so it fits right in your mouth like this. And tighten the screw, make sure it doesn't wobble or anything, and now you're ready to play. The proper saxophone playing posture depends on what's more comfortable for the individual. Most students tend to be comfortable with the alto laying on the side against their leg, and most adults tend to have it right in front of them. It really depends on what's comfortable for you. So for the saxophone to be out in front of you, make sure that it's not resting on the chair. Make sure it's resting up against your leg, and the neck strap is adjusted so it's right fit to put in your mouth. So make sure when you're sitting that you sit towards the middle of the chair, and so your back is up straight and the saxophone is leaning against your thigh. The mouthpiece should be at a little less than a 90-degree angle with your mouth, just like this. To form a correct embouchure on the saxophone, it is important to create a tight seal around the mouthpiece. Once the reed is properly placed on the mouthpiece, you should take a piece of paper and stick it right in between the reed and the mouthpiece. So, at this point where the paper stops on the reed and the mouthpiece is where your mouth should be placed on the mouthpiece. So once you have this breaking point, you place your mouth here and make sure it goes in that place. From there, it is important to create a tight seal around it, and you should start by placing your teeth at that point right on top of the mouthpiece and have it laying comfortably set right on top of the mouthpiece like that. From here, curl your lips under your teeth and tighten the corners of your lips to create a seal around the mouthpiece, just like this. From there, you blow, go. So basically, the saxophone embouchure is created by a couple of steps. You should anchor, open your mouth, inhale, set the embouchure, and blow. You should have your students make it the sound just with the neck first, because it takes away from the body and just focuses on the embouchure rather than the actual notes that they're playing. There are many ways to articulate on a saxophone. To articulate, you can either use the tip of your tongue with the tip of the reed. There are many ways to articulate on a saxophone. To articulate, you can either use the tip of your tongue on the tip of the reed, or use a place that is slightly back than the tip of the reed with the tip of your tongue. Or you can use the anchor method, which a lot of students prefer, where you take the tip of your tongue on your lower teeth and bend your tongue to the tip of the reed. All of these ways of articulation works, but it really depends on what you're comfortable with. So, there are 3 syllables that are most commonly used when articulating on the saxophone: to, do, and la. The most common syllable is to. To produce a good tone on the saxophone first requires a constant and fast airstream. When you have your embouchure set and you have a good embouchure, it is important to make a constant and fast airstream when playing the saxophone. Once this is acquired, you can later add vibrato. To do vibrato, you do the jaw vibrato, which means you move your jaw up and down as you play. The more you play, the more refined your tone and vibrato gets.